the Ballon d'Or preview, and we all had our top three. I believe with the events of Tuesday and Wednesday, some of us would have had changes in our Ballon d'Or top three. Mayor,
Yep.
the,
Ballon d'Or top
if the
three.
season if the season should end today,
Yeah.
who are your Ballon d'Or top three?
Okay. Basically, I would have loved Jamil Lamar.
Good day, our fans, and welcome to another episode of the Late Go Podcast. Your one-stop shop for everything football, banter, drama, and exciting discussions regarding football. It's been an interesting week, but before I go into our discussions, let me just do a quick recap and introduction of our panelists tonight. Tonight, I'm taking back the hosting rights from Yinka. Yinka, thank you for your hosting contribution over the two episodes. It's good to be back. With us on the show, we have Yinka, the top left corner. He's an Inter Milan fan. We have Cass, he's a Milan fan, also a pro Arsenal fan. We have Ahmed. Ahmed is a Milan fan also, and we have Tayo, uh, the man behind the party. Just leave it like that. Then we have, for the first time on the show, we have Mayor. Mayor is a strong Chelsea fan. You know, Chelsea fans, there's something about them. They are don't let me say they are a small club, but they have the
Mm.
they have the charisma of Real Madrid. When they are boasting like this, you would think they have more than two Champions League titles. But
Ah,
Mayor, welcome to the show.
thank
It's good
you.
to have you. And
Thank you very
I'm
much.
happy we have Chelsea and Arsenal fan on the show today. Should be very interesting. And we have JD. He's an Inter Milan fan. Before I go further, congratulations to Yinka and JD for doing Italian football proud.
Thank you very much.
They are in the Champions League final. Congratulations to Chelsea,
Thank you,
Mayor,
thank you, thank you.
for the
Yeah.
Conference League final.
Yeah. Thank
Congratulations to
you.
Tayo for finishing second. We see you again next season. Before we go, take it easy, guys. Take it easy, guys. Take it easy, guys.
Congratulations.
Before we go into the Ahmed,
Copa Italia final was 3 weeks
congratulations.
ago now. Abba.
I don't understand. I don't
Since,
understand.
since congratulations
Before we
is
go
just
into the
picking
main
up.
discussions, let me give us the hot headlines. Over the week, it's been party after party in Paris. Uh, they've been serving rice cooked with timber, uh, and they've been enjoying themselves in Paris. Harry Kane, the favorite English boy, has finally landed the trophy. We are happy for him. Sorry, Yinka reminded me that Eric Dyer also is winning his first trophy. We are happy for the former Spurs boys. Xabi Alonso has bid farewell to Bayer Leverkusen. He's taking over at Real Madrid next season, while the most successful Champions League manager, Carlo Ancelotti, is moving to the Brazilian national team at the end of the season. Uh, Chelsea in England are gaining momentum, while Yinka's Nottingham Forest have begun to falter. We'll get to that in the show. Milan has disrupted the top four calculation in Italy tonight with a 3-1 win over Bologna. Bologna currently sits seventh on the table. Now we go into the main discussion. I'll start with Mayor. Mayor, which of the Champions League matches did you see over the weekend? Let's even go.
I watched Barcelona Inter Milan. What an interesting match. The game, I think what really helped those my Inter Milan team, I see them winning the Champions League. They are so compact. They don't have any star player. They just want to play together. They want to defend together and attack together. I've never seen any team with so much determination like that. I don't see PSG beating them. I don't see them beating them.
I want to point out that Inter had four big chances in the semi-final and they converted all four chances. That is some high level of
Insane.
efficiency. I won't call Yenka and Dunga. They are feeling themselves, even though they want to form humble. Let me call Cass. Cass, a great one for Italian football. And Inter didn't, Inter were disrespected going into that time, and they a lot of people expected Barca to roll over Inter and just get to the Champions League final. But we saw some old Italian spirit and determination. Let me hear your thoughts on that match. It was a flurry of goals. Let me hear your thoughts on that match.
Thank you, Samson. For me, the match was more like, in my head, it keeps playing like it was the final before the final. It keeps playing like, what are these guys coming to do? Like, you guys just came to give us complete football. We saw a defensive game. We saw a very attacking game. We saw people playing from the flanks. We enjoyed full football. It was just something good, befitting the eye. We could, like, there was something to talk about at every minute. If you missed 10 minutes of the game, you've actually missed a lot. There's always
Yeah.
something that's happened at every point in time in the game. And I would agree a bit to what Mayor said, that the compactness of Inter Milan actually was the height of the whole fixture. Barcelona came to do what they knew how to do best, which is to keep you within your box. Inter Milan knew the assignment, catch these guys on the counter attack. Their defense are always on the. I don't understand what Arsene Flinks is doing with that is line. I don't understand. I don't know who said line. If you don't play line, you will die. Because that, in my opinion, that was what he did. Because even when he didn't need it, when he was leading, when it was
3-2.
3-2, he was still playing line. What are you doing? Just defend for the remaining 3 minutes. But like I said, the mentality, like Ahmed said in the last episode, the mentality of Inter Milan is something that needs to be understudied by other Italian teams. There's no way you will go down to a Barcelona at that time and then you will still have the mentality that you can still win it. Those guys never stopped. They kept pushing very hard. So I must say they actually made the whole Italian league proud, and especially to themselves, they made themselves proud. Those guys did it. Even if they end up not winning the Champions League, I will still see them as one of the best teams in this Champions League. And there's one thing I always say to round up, is that it's always good when the flashlight is not on you. People,
it's better to be the underdog.
Always be the underdog. Even in the finals, they are still the underdog, which is actually good for them. It played on the part of Arsenal when Arsenal felt, oh, we are the good guys, we've beaten Madrid, let us go and do, Inter Milan kept beating everybody, made this one the beast. Arsenal would have been a lot easier for them, but Arsenal should be happy they didn't get into the finals. It would have been more disastrous. But for Inter Milan, they really did a good job, yeah.
Well, personally, I don't share the opinion that Inter were compact, but then that is a discussion for later. You are not compact when you concede six goals over 2 legs.
Yes,
but then,
but the question is, how do you defend the Barcelona? That's the question.
They got through. That's just my personal opinion. I don't believe they were compact enough. You don't concede 6 goals over 2 legs and say you are compact. That's just my personal opinion.
But how do you say they are not if you concede 6 and then you score 7? Because in my opinion, you knew what you needed to do to win the game. You cannot say
they were brilliant going forward. They were efficient going forward. I'm talking about their defending.
Do you know they actually put 3 guys to actually stay with one person on the field? They still couldn't keep that person silent.
Are we allowed
that person is Lamine Yamal?
Inter fans.
Yinka, I'm coming to you. Yinka, I'm coming to you now. Yinka, at 3-2. At 3-2. What was going on in your mind at 3-2? I'm interested in that point of the game.
Well, thank you again for having me on the show, even though I've always been part of the show. But at 3-2, I mean, the only thing you can do against this Barca side was pray. At the time that goal came was a very, very delicate time. I think it was in the 87th minute. And After that goal came in, I'm not even gonna lie, I gave up. I was just hoping and praying that something was going to happen. Fortunately for us, and like I've always said on this show, this Barca is a very inexperienced side, and that is one of the things that cost them on that night. Fortunately for us, their inexperience showed. They were also a bit arrogant. Arrogance also played because a smart team would know that at that time of the game, all you needed to do was keep the ball. I tried to imagine the likes of Xavi Hernandez, Andres Iniesta, or that Pep side from 2009, 2010 in that same position. They would have dominated position until the end of that game. They would have kept that ball, passed and tiki-taka the hell out of our lives. But a bit of arrogance. I know that Pedri did try to keep the ball, but the moment he gave it to Yamal, he was expecting Yamal to also try to keep it, maybe, do a bit of turnover, pass it around. But Yamal went for glory instead because he wanted to, get his name on the score sheet. He wanted to humiliate Inter. That's the way I saw it. And that's what caused them. But to answer your question, I prayed because no one would expect an equalizer at that time of the game. Like I said in the group, I made some
JD,
promises to God as well.
I'm with you.
He said he made promises to God.
Yinka, don't be like that Ugandan president. Oh. You made promises to God. What did you? Hope you didn't promise God, church.
No, not church. I made promise. Yeah, I mentioned it in North Paradise now. I said it was about that pastor that made fake prediction about Barcelona winning the Champions League. Normally me and
It was a
pastors
prediction. I
we,
said it
we,
was a
we always have
prophecy.
our issues. I said I was not going to talk about him at all. I was not going to talk about him if we were able to equalize that game or somehow able to win. And we did, and I've kept quiet about him since. So
JD, uh, I'm sure you were also praying at that point of the
Um,
match.
I actually wasn't praying. I didn't even have to wait until 3-2. I didn't have to wait until Barcelona scored the third goal. We took an early lead, 2 goals up. At the time Barcelona go back into the game, they equalized 2-2. I told my friend who was sat beside me, I said, this game is over actually. I didn't see anyhow Inter was going to come back to win that game. I told him the only reason we were going to win the game was by miracle. So it's only going to take a miracle for Inter to win that game because the guys looked jaded. They were damn tired. We couldn't even put two passes together. Immediately we win possession, we give it back to them. Immediately we win possession, we give it back to them. At that very moment, I lost hope in the team. That was the very first time, I think in the last 4 years, I'll be losing hope in Inter while the game is still on. So I think it was miraculous. I don't know. Nobody knew what Achabi was doing at that position at that time. He just found himself there. I read something post game. I think Fabrizio Biazin was talking to Damian, and he asked him what Achabi was doing up front at that moment. Damian told him that he asked Achabi that, "Hey man, where are you going to?" He told him that, "Hey, you stay here. Let me go up front." The man, what are you
I'm
doing? Where are you
coming.
going to? It was like, "Don't worry,
I said I'm coming.
I'm
I'm
coming.
just
Just
coming.
stay here." And I don't
That's
know.
the free
Child, leave
spirit.
me. Leave me.
Maybe that was the
And
actual prophecy, and not the prophecy that we heard about in Nigeria.
that
That was
was
actually the
that was a
prophecy.
fantastic
He heard
that
the
was a
voice of God
fantastic
while
finish.
on the pitch. So I don't know. That was a fantastic finish. Kudos to him. He has the heart of a lion. You know his story. You know the things he has overcome. So I was not surprised that I was the person that made the game turn out the way it's turned. So kudos to all of Inter. Kudos to the coach. Kudos to all
Ahmed,
the players.
this one are looking at me like Lamine Yamal like this. Hope all is well.
How's the
Eh?
game?
Don't
How's the game
mention
for
that boy.
everybody?
That boy tormented us. Yamal
Let me
tormented
hear
us.
your thoughts.
Olons, would you agree
All
with me
right.
that Yamal played his best of the season against Inter?
Um,
He had never been that
yeah,
good.
I would say so. Yes, I would say so. I think he was highly motivated for that game.
He
He
was
really
really
wanted to get to
motivated.
the final and hopefully win that Champions League. So he really did well over both legs. Even in
What
the
is a
second leg when he did not
17-year-old
score.
boy? What is a
Maybe he
17-year-old
read
boy
the
doing in
script from
Champions
Messi.
League?
He read the script from Messi.
What is a
All right,
17-year-old boy
all
doing in
right.
Champions League?
That's by the
She,
way.
she, she, she should come off it.
Thank you, Samson. For those that have been following this show, there is little to add because I've said a lot of things about Inter before this moment, and to a large extent, it came to play. Inter are one very matured side. Their
Octopus.
maturity was so very much on show. But what I would add to every other thing I've said before now is that I think as much as they assumed a defensive shape for a large part of the game, I think they didn't do enough. Enough in the sense that, like someone said just now, that there are three guys um, monitoring Yamal. Yeah, they did that zonally until Yamal was getting in threatening positions. They had to, okay, go after him. I felt they didn't do enough because he was left too free and idle for someone that is that
I agree with you,
dangerous.
Ahmed.
I
See,
expected him to react that
Yoruba,
more often. I expected him to be brutalized. You understand? I expected someone consistently on him even before he gets to the ball. I expected someone on him to have given him a physical beating. I expected something like for someone that threatened Inter that much. I expected Inter to have done more in that regard. He was left to do all sorts.
Ahmed.
It is not that despite doing that, it is not like Yama won't play its game, but I expected that his effectiveness would reduce compared to what he actually gave out that day.
That
So
boy, we
it was
had
a
no
good
access
time.
to that.
Yeah, Yorubas always
You
say
said what?
Enito ba lomo, abi how
That
do
boy
they
was
always say it?
unplayable.
It's
I
only
don't
until
know.
you play that game.
After he has
See,
gotten the
the
ball.
thing with
What
Yamal
about
is
before
for a
he gets the
17-year-old,
ball?
I've not seen a 17-year-old that knows how to make use of space and time the way that boy knows how to makes use of space and time.
The boy was
It's
simply
almost
unplayable.
like he
Agreed.
knows what to do even before he gets the ball. So even when you stay close to him, he would likely beat you. If you decide to give him space, it means that you're giving him time to turn, which means you're giving him time to make decisions as well. I think the best way that we could have
We've
handled
seen
him
people like
was to
Yamal
push our
before.
defensive line high so that at least we
Uh-huh.
have enough time to deal with him before he gets to maybe the edge of our box or maybe get to the byline. And I think we did that
In any
considerably well,
case,
maybe in the
We
first
couldn't
half.
have played the high line though because we do not have such
in any
players.
case, Inter PSG in the final. Yamal can try again next season. We've spent enough time on Barcelona Inter. Tayo wants to tell us why Partey
Why
did not
Partey
party.
did not happen.
Why Partey
Why
did not
Partey
pass
did
to
not
Partey?
party
Why Partey didn't
on
intercept?
Tuesday. So this one I'm not even no, I'm not cutting corners. I'm going straight to Tayo. Tayo, PSG, Arsenal. Partey, midfield balance, Odegaard allowed to roam, Saka, Martinelli,
Jollof rice.
Jollof rice, Timber cooking the rice at the back. What happened, Tayo?
What can I say?
You
What can
can
I
say a
say?
lot.
It's a game of football. Basically, I would say we played against Donnarumma. Honestly,
Mm.
for a keeper
Hmm.
to
He's one of
for a
their
keeper
greatest.
to
He's one of
win
their players.
for a keeper to win man of the match. No. For a
Donnarumma
keeper
was
to
not the
win man of the
referee.
match. You say what?
Donnarumma was not the referee. He was a PSG player too. That's what Mayor is telling
I'm
you.
telling you, I'm
Yes,
telling you the
he's one of
reason
their
why
players.
he did not qualify. For a keeper to win man of the match on both legs, it
He
shows
was
how
not
much
man of
it
the
shows
match in the
how good.
second leg. I don't know why Ateta has found a way to brainwash Arsenal fans. Hakimi was man of the match in the second leg.
Was he Hakimi?
It was Hakimi.
Yinka.
Yeah, Hakimi was the man of the
But
match.
keep cooking, keep
If now
cooking.
Hakimi,
Hakimi
This
was the
rice
if
man of
is
Hakimi
the match in the
delicious.
second.
if now Hakimi
Yinka.
they rob
If
Donnarumma.
Tayo say na Donnarumma, na
It's
Eh, na
Donnarumma
easy.
now.
Donnarumma, abi.
Tayo
Easy.
said they
Tayo
I dey
robbed
tell you,
Jare.
Donnarumma.
I tell you, if they give
Oh,
Hakimi
yeah.
now rob Donnarumma, they
Daylight
rob him.
robbery.
You
Honestly,
see?
we could not do beyond that. We are playing without a striker. We don't get striker. Still, They try create chances, try score goals, and one keeper
They started the
is there
season
playing.
without the striker, Sha.
I
The
got
club
us
was
go
like
to
Oh,
semi-final.
striker now.
I
Ateta
have
went to
No,
second.
we know the fact that PSG has a much more better attack than Arsenal. You can't compare Arsenal's attack to PSG attack.
You were
Let's
not
be
this
honest.
humble last week,
Why?
oh. You were not this humble last week. Anyways, Yinka, quickly, what went wrong for Arsenal in that match?
Well, I think it might seem like lazy analysis, but I think that at the end of the day, their lack of a striker eventually killed them. I mentioned during that game that they were too easy to defend against. Um, Most of the moves that they tried to make in the attacking third was quite obvious. In the second leg, PSG did not attack as I expected them to. They wanted to soak pressure and catch Arsenal out on the counter, which meant that Arsenal was able to put a lot of pressure on them, early on. But because Arsenal did not have a focal point, people often underestimate the effect of a striker, even if it's not a complete striker. A striker has movements that he makes on the field that can take a defender off a midfielder that is making a run from midfield, that can make certain movements that would mostly lead to even goals for other teammates. And I think that because they did not have that cost them. Defensively, they were not too great as well because every time PSG had the ball to turn over, it was almost leading to a chance for PSG rather. So
Yes,
I'll say that
Lewis
attacking
Skelly was shit.
wise and defensive wise, they were found wanting. But overall, I think that Arteta planned a decent game or planned a good game. He tried to overwhelm them, but because he missed a few pieces in attack, he could not get goals. So I think that for me, that was what went wrong.
We are still coming back to the Arteta discussion, anyways. On that discussion, Yinka will be the host. But just so you know, let me just throw a question out there. Since we've spoken about the two Champions League matches, last week we did a Ballon d'Or preview, and we all had our top three. I believe with the events of Tuesday and Wednesday, some of us would have had changes in our Ballon d'Or top three. Mayor,
Yeah, Ballon d'Or top
if the
three.
season should end today,
Yeah.
who are your Ballon d'Or top three?
Okay. Basically, I would have loved Lamine Yamal to be there. The guy is just a revelation from nowhere. Came from nowhere and is just up
He
there
will
now.
reveal next season too. Don't worry, he will reveal
He's
next
just
season.
from nowhere. I'm considering, and I have this strong feeling for Lautaro Martinez. The guy is up there. Almost about 9 goals in as many matches in the Champions League.
Inter fans.
That makes me
jazz,
proud.
correct.
And Dembele is a very strong contender. All of that is being equal. If before UEFA will come and maybe they go and bring Bastituta and say is the Ballon d'Or. Is the Ballon d'Or
So
than this time around. So
Mayor, you are picking Lautaro.
yeah.
Dembele,
Yamil Lama and Dembele. Those three are very strong contenders.
Dembele, Yamin Lama, Lautaro.
And
nice one.
Lautaro, yeah.
JD, quickly.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
You can start with Dumfries.
If the
I
award
hear you
is to
too.
go to that, the 3 people that will be on the podium are Lautaro Martinez, Lamine Yamal, and Ousmane Dembele. It's as simple as that.
Because you had Lautaro now, you to quickly put Lautaro away, not to spoil.
Yeah, that's because Lautaro through the semi-finals proved another point. He's now the focal point for Inter. The same way Lamine Yamal is for Barcelona. And I know that it is almost going to be impossible for 2 players to be picked from Barcelona. So I think Barcelona themselves want to see Lamine Yamal ahead of Rafinha. So that's where the disadvantage comes in for Rafinha. So I'll pick Rafinha, Yamal, Lautaro, Ousmane.
JD, let me spice it, and I'm spicing it for the rest of the team too. If Inter does not win the league and you win only the Champions League, and let's say of course, PSG will be the losing side if Inter wins the Champions League, and you don't win the league, do you still think Lautaro should be the Ballon d'Or winner?
Yeah, definitely. Lautaro will be in for a very big shout. That's because he's been scoring goals. He has about 8 in the Champions League. He scored the handful in the league. And also want to consider what he did last season. Lautaro was massive for Inter last season. You know how this awards work. You know how they would want to consider your
waiting
consistency.
the cook.
I understand where I'm coming from. We've seen Messi win awards because of the World Cup. Messi won the Ballon d'Or because of the World Cup in 2020.
Let us try to avoid conversations around
Messi
Ballon d'Or.
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
Messi and Ronaldo. Let us leave those guys. Those guys are different.
Cast your top 3. Jerry, don't worry. Cast your top 3.
There won't be too many changes. Yamal, and I would still say Salah, kind of. Yes, Salah is. Yes, and I have my reasons.
Mohamed Salah.
There's this advantage. Let me explain.
Mayor, calm down now. Somebody mentioned Harry Kane last week. Calm down.
Let me explain. Okay, I think it was you that posted a list on the group today.
Yes.
And I was questioning why Rice was in that list and Saka wasn't in that list. What has Rice done that Saka hasn't done for Arsenal? That Rice has to make that list.
2 free kicks against 15-time Champions League winner.
There's a thing with when it comes to the EPL. There's this advantage that just switches around things in EPL that would probably put some players in. I remember the season when the likes of Lampard had. It's not like people didn't have good goals from other leagues, but because it was EPL, for crying out loud, made the list.
So Salah, Dembele,
and
Yamal.
Sorry to cut him. In fact, Donnarumma will even be better to be in that top 3 than Salah. Donnarumma will be up there.
I think that's actually true.
Donnarumma because he played against Arsenal.
Ahmed, is Harry Kane still on your list?
No chance for Harry Kane. No chance for Harry Kane.
Ahmed, top 3. Sharp.
All right. You know something, Sam? The list from last week, you caught us all off guard. So we had to just start searching for names in our head. But now
and you did not see name. You saw Harry Kane.
Enough time to think things through and some more evidence we saw from games that just got concluded 2 days ago. One thing is Yamal is first on everybody's list. I maintain
not on my list.
It's not first on my list.
Well, he's first on my list. And also Lautaro is someone I would also have up there with him. And finally, I'm actually caught between. Well, let me go with Dembele.
Dembele.
Yes.
Yinka, let me hear you.
So I didn't make any picks last week because obviously I was the host. But I think that Yamal has done very well for Barca this season. He's been easily their best player or one of their best players this season. But at the same time, I believe that goals and assists are very, very crucial in picking whoever would become the winner of the Ballon d'Or. And in that sense, I still believe that Rafinha hedges him out. So for me, it would be Rafinha. Yamal will also get a podium finish because, like I said, he's really their best player. When you look at aesthetics, how dangerous he is for the team, the kind of chances he creates, and like Yamal should also get a podium finish. And I think that the third place would then be between whoever wins the Champions League between Dembele and Lautaro. So if Inter wins the Champions League, Lautaro should maybe make a podium. Or if PSG win it, then Dembele, obviously.
Tayo.
Yeah, my pick from last week remains the same. As you can see, Rafinha produced another world-class performance against Inter Milan. Another Ballon d'Or performance for me.
You didn't mean to say Yamal.
Rafinha, he played well.
Is Rafinha you saw now?
Rafinha was invisible for a large part.
I'm
struggling to see where the world class came from, but that's fine.
Yamal had a lot to do on his own without. What was Rafinha's
contribution? Everything goes through Yamal. Everything goes through Yamal. But at the end of the day, numbers will decide it. I strongly believe that numbers will decide it.
Don't let them change your mind. They are haters.
They won't
Don't
change
let
my
them
Sorry,
change
mind
your
though.
before
mind.
you
No, the
continue,
point is,
Tayo,
if,
Honestly,
I
if
just want to
Rafinha's
add
contribution
that
was
Of
world
course,
class,
this
how
is
would we tag
probably
Yamal's contribution?
this is probably one of the seasons where most of the favorites for the Ballon d'Or will probably not be winning the Champions League. So I think that their numbers will play a vital role because the trophies or the important trophy, the trophy that usually counts as the decider, is not there either for Yamal, Rafinha, Salah, Mbappe, and the likes. It's only Lautaro and
Saka.
Dembele and maybe Donnarumma that have a chance of winning the title this season, unless you want to put all three on the podium, which I don't have a problem with anyways. But please continue, Tayo.
Tayo, go ahead. Yinka, thank you. You
It
saw
remains the
Rafinha
same.
and you are saying you did not see Rafinha. Tayo,
Yes,
continue,
Rafinha.
Gary.
Then
and it's a world
I'll do
class
Yamal.
performance from Rafinha.
Yamal once again showed that he's one of the best young lads in the world right now. So I'll do Yamal. I'll do Rafinha, and of course, I'll
Benji, bring it all
do
back and then.
Dembele.
Dembele.
Yeah, Dembele Rafinha.
Rafinha, Yamal, Dembele. Okay, there's a change in my top three. But before I announce my top three, just to inform our fans at home, we'll be incorporating a new segment into the Let's Go podcast. It's basically a quiz where you can win prizes in each of the episodes. So shortly, I'll be throwing out the quiz question. My panelists, you are not eligible for this quiz. Thank you very much. So in each session, there will be a quiz where you can win cash prizes and whatever prizes. Also, for our fans that are thinking to partner with us in one way or capacity, we are open to sponsorship and advert. You can contact any of us for further information on that. So my Ballon d'Or top three. Are you guys ready? Are you ready?
Drum roll.
Yeah.
So in my top three, I'm going to have
Hardly.
Donnarumma, Rafinha, and one of Dembele or Lautaro, depending on who wins the Champions League.
I thought you said top three. Is this what you like? I don't understand. You are giving us
You
four names.
want to
Top
put
three.
gun on the head of host.
My question is, why is Dembele's
Where is
position on the
Donnarumma from?
podium dependent on whether he wins the Champions League, but Donnarumma's position is not dependent on that?
I want to tap into
It's
Tayo's
guaranteed.
discussion tonight,
Tayo,
and
you're on the spot.
this is me appreciating how massive Donnarumma has been in the quarterfinals and in the semi-finals. Donnarumma single-handedly pulled PSG through that second leg against Aston Villa.
Absolutely.
It was bumper to bumper of chances for Aston Villa, and he proved himself. Again in the semi-final, there was a time in the second leg he had to fake an injury to cool the tension when he got like 3 shots back to back. So that's personally, I'm seeing something different from that angle, and I think he's on my podium.
Sorry, quick
So,
question. Quick
yes,
question.
sir.
Then why is Soma not getting a place as well? If we
Soma,
are actually centering,
another fantastic keeper.
Do you want a straightforward answer?
yes.
You cannot concede 6 goals and be on my podium. Like it's not done.
But do you know
But
how many saves
Donnarumma
with the
considered
6
way
goals?
more than that in the group stage now. I mean, PSG lost like 5 games in this Champions League already.
You can't concede 6 over 2 legs and say you want to be on balance.
So you are judging an entire season by just 2 games.
9 over 5 legs.
Soma has not been individually
It's unfair.
as
Some people
brilliant
face
as
Yamal.
Donnarumma.
I mean,
And some people face
Soma
Saka.
considered
Wow.
only 1 goal in the entire group stage. That's
In
1
the
goal
group
in 8
stage,
games.
yes.
In
Soma
Soma's
considered
favor,
1
why would you compare somebody facing Yamal with somebody facing Saka?
Ataya.
No, no, I won't take that. Honestly. I won't take that.
No, Ahmed, that is below the belt. We don't do that here. Ahmed, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. That is below the belt.
I'm with Tayo. I'm with you. Whatever you
We
say,
won't take that.
I'm behind you.
No, we won't take
I won't
that.
take that.
On your behalf.
Someone is facing bombardment from Pedri's through passes, Rafinha's run, compared to someone that is facing long throws.
For 3 months.
Someone that is facing long
Long throwing and corner
Saka,
kicks. Corner kick FC.
or corner kick. Come here.
It's
Justice for
Saka. It's
Thomas.
Saka that came back from injury and still had
Anyways,
better
anyways,
performance. Come on.
Sincerely,
anyways,
Justice for Soma.
Soma saved Inter. Soma was the
mm.
reason why Inter was still able to have faith. Once you what
I
are you
mean,
saying, bro?
Cats,
before
will you
2-2,
Cats,
Soma
will
made
you
a
review your
massive
top
save.
three and put
Even when
Summer?
it was
Will you
3-2,
review your
I
top
think he
three?
made
In fact,
massive
I'm changing my
saves.
mind. Salah is no longer in my top three. Soma is now the third player in my top three. Let's
It's
move on.
okay.
God bless you,
We move
Cats.
on.
Let's go.
Activist Cats. Justice for Soma.
Okay.
So,
At the end of the Ballon d'Or draws, let me just rule out our quiz question for this session. So this is the quiz question. On the last episode, we discussed who had the bigger legacy between Salah, who had the bigger EPL legacy between Salah and Thierry Henry. Salah of Liverpool, Thierry Henry of Arsenal. Everybody on the panel weighed in on the discussion. So, for our viewers, can you just tell us who Ahmed picked to have a bigger legacy between Salah and Henry? Who did Ahmed, AC Milan supporter, pick to have a bigger legacy between Salah and Henry in the last episode? So that is the quiz question for this segment.
My family members take part.
Mayor,
Yeah.
Chelsea are picking momentum. Can see you are running. You two want to go to Champions League. What do you know they are doing?
We
With those
we
underage
we have
children.
always been there. We
So,
that year. We are always there.
to go and what do
We
you want to go
are
and do there?
we are always there. You know.
With
we don't.
with your Palmer that is no more cold. What are you going to do in Champions League?
It's just
It's not with us anymore.
you know how many
Palmer,
goals
we
Palmer
no
has
cold
scored this
again.
season. Palmer has even had more assists and goals than Saka that people have been talking about. You know when you are so
No be
much
penalty.
Ayo.
yes. You know when you are so much on an
Tayo, I'm not going to
pedestal,
take this.
when you do a little, people
Tayo,
think
you
you
are
have
too
not done
calm. You are too
it. When
calm.
you do a little bit less,
What?
they think you didn't do anything.
Oh, you didn't hear what you said. It's okay.
His worst season is better than Saka's best season. It is that bad.
Oh,
Wow.
It is really that bad.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah, so
Wow.
the guy is up there, and he's just 33 years old. How old is Saka? So
Is there another Saka
yeah,
that I don't know?
yeah,
Yinka,
Yeah.
we are talking about the EPL top four race now, and City are currently third. Newcastle are fourth. Chelsea have built
we
on
are
their
both
momentum.
fourth.
They are now.
We are both on fourth.
You are fifth. You are
Just
fifth.
going
You are the one they
different.
wrote in fifth. You are the one
Okay.
they wrote in fifth.
Okay.
Forest are sixth and Aston Villa are seventh. I am bringing Aston Villa into play because they are on 60 points. Forest are on 61. Chelsea and Newcastle are on 63. Yinka, do you still think Forest can go to the Champions League? Let me tell you their remaining three fixtures. They have Leicester at home, West Ham away, and Chelsea at home. Quickly.
You would expect them to beat Leicester. What's the second game again?
By
Chelsea,
God's
right?
grace. West Ham
West
away.
Ham. West Ham might be a bit tricky. If they really want to make the Champions League, they need to win that as well. At this point, it's hard to keep rooting for them to make Champions League. I mean, they threw away how many points in the last 5 games? I think they've lost 3 in the last 5. They've only won 1. So they've lost from the worst stage of the season.
It's gone.
Where serious teams always look to pick up points, even if it's 1-0 wins here and there. So it's difficult to say. I would say that everything is still open though, because you still have a bit of head-to-head. I think Newcastle are still facing Arsenal. Newcastle are still facing Chelsea as well. Aston Villa would probably still be meeting one of the teams vying for a Champions League slot as well. Forest also have a few teams to meet, or a couple of teams to meet in there. No, Forest have just one, if I'm not mistaken. So it's still a bit open. Those head-to-head games would play a huge role in who qualifies for the Champions League. So say Chelsea loses to Nottingham on the last day, for example, it might be the results that would push Nottingham into 4th place or into 5th place, because there are only 3 points between Aston Villa in 7th and Newcastle in 4th. In fact, 4 points between Aston Villa in 7th and Man City in 4th. So Man City is still, part of that group. Whether Forest will qualify or not, to be honest, I cannot give you a straight answer. It's harder for them now than it was maybe about 3 to 4 weeks ago. but I think it's still very possible. It's just less likely than it was previously.
Is your top 5 changing?
At this point, I know I said I didn't see Chelsea qualifying for the Champions League, but I might start to have a change of heart. I still think Newcastle will make it. I think Man City will make it. I think Liverpool will make it. Arsenal will make it. So that's 4 teams. So that leaves us with Chelsea, Forest, and Villa. 3 points between Chelsea and Villa. If Chelsea do not pick up 3 points this weekend, then I think that and Villa pick up 3 points, I think that Villa will make it.
Wow.
But if Chelsea manage to win this weekend, then I think Chelsea will make it. But the remaining 4 that I listed earlier will definitely make it.
Mayor, Chelsea are away to Newcastle.
St. James's Park. The worst that will happen in that game will be a draw. That's the least. And if we pick up a draw with them, then
we don't get something to hold you.
It is ours to lose.
Exhibit 1.
The worst case scenario from that game, we'll get a draw. That's the worst. The game that I was so scared of was the Liverpool game, and we won it. So the momentum among the guys are so high now. Momentum is really, really high among them now. So we are going
to playing United.
That one is a walkover. Those are they are non-existent. Yeah,
we need to bring a United
that one will be a walk in the park.
We need to be a United fan.
Those one they are dead and condemned. No, they will not even want to come.
Europa League finally.
Tayo, I know. Tayo, I know you guys are second. You might still end up third if you are not careful. But
of course,
I need you to weigh in on this discussion. Aston Villa are playing 3 teams that don't have anything to play for. They are playing Bournemouth. Bournemouth cannot catch up to the team ahead of them. I think they are like 8 or 9 points away from Aston Villa. They play Spurs and they play United. Chelsea is playing Newcastle, United, and Forest. Who do you see? Just give me your top 5.
My top 5. Of course, there's a certain top 3: Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. I see Newcastle. I see Newcastle going in there because I don't see Arsenal beating Newcastle, first of all. And I think they play us maybe in 1 or 2 games time. So for me, Arsenal are -1 for Newcastle. Highest we see draw. So if they can draw Arsenal, win Arsenal, of course they stand a chance. And I think Chelsea be in the top 5 too. So in that particular order, Newcastle, Chelsea should come in to join Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. I doubt you cannot go down from that momentum you have, as mid season, and then you keep going down like that, and you want to come back up at this time.
I think I agree with Tayo as well. They've lost momentum. Their form is not good, and it has come at the wrong time. So it's hard to see them picking up. I want to imagine that their morale is completely down at the moment. So teams will want to take advantage of that as well. So it will be hard. It's possible, but it will be very, very hard.
Okay, Cass, top 5. Then Dunga will go after Cass. So Cass.
Let's so I don't take much of our time. I think I'll just go with what Tayo said. No different order because Forest are already on their way to the Forest. So I just leave it as it. Yes.
I didn't see that coming.
Bring a Forest fan on the show.
They already left the track.
Two-time Champions League winner.
It doesn't matter. Why? But you don't
going to the Forest.
You cannot be saying that.
They won Champions Cup.
It's not fair.
They won Champions Cup. Dunga.
No champions. I still think Chelsea and Newcastle will join the current top 3. Nottingham Forest, as Olon said, has lost momentum. They are on the downward spiral. So and we have just about 3 games left. I don't see them coming back from this current form they find themselves. They've only won 1 of the last 4 or 5 or so. So I think the ginger is no more there. And I think it's kind of too late for them to do a comeback. Chelsea and Newcastle will join the top 3.
Okay. Everybody's pitching their pitching for the top guys. No, not bad. But then just to round up, if Forest end up in 6th, it has not been a bad season for them. That would guarantee them.
By their standards.
Uh, depending on the permutation, by their standard, that's a great season for them. And for a club that was trying to avoid relegation some seasons back, so they wouldn't take it to heart too much. Unlike for the other teams, it would have been a bigger disappointment for a Chelsea or a City, even a Newcastle at this point to miss the Champions League. It's been a great time on the first segment of the episode of the podcast tonight. On the next segment, we are going to continue our discussion where we would go into dedicated and focused discussion where I will off my host clothes and I will enter the arena and discuss about a Spanish gentleman. But for now, I say thank you guys. It's been an interesting one. See you soon.